here. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Hi guys.
Come on. Oh, there we go. Hello. Oh, that was like perfect timing. I just got done with work and I grabbed my personal laptop, moved it to my desk. I'm like, okay, got all I get for the meeting. How's everybody doing? Can
Hello.
you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, whew, good.
Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Majorly. I'm doing good.
Good. In here.
Hi.
Oh, I just clicked on the wrong thing. My goodness, today, computer, you are going to be the death of me. Okay. Sorry about this. My computer would just cooperate. I'd be really grateful.
I also, well, I just wanted to let you know, Stephanie, that Andres said that he wouldn't be able to make it for today.
Okay,
Uh,
so Andreas is not going to be here. Okay.
yeah, just for today, he said. About
Okay.
the other ones, well, I don't know, but he mentioned that he wouldn't be able for today.
Okay, that's no problem at all. I will make note of that. I am just trying to get to the. Okay, nope, I'm having problems now. Okay. Could somebody pull up the discussion and share it because it is not wanting to pull up for me for whatever reason right now?
Like the document?
Yeah. Oh, the document. Yeah, I'm not. What is with my computer? I am so sorry, guys. I am like all discombobulated and everything. It's been one of those days. Okay, there we go. Ugh, I need sleep. I need a break. Okay, there we go. Anybody else waiting? Is it just us for? Yeah, it is just us. Looks like
Yes,
Eric.
I think it is.
Okay, sorry guys. I am so discombobulated today.
Do
Okay,
you still need the link for the pages?
I got it pulled up finally. It was being really, really, really stubborn today and like nothing was wanting to pull up. So it was taking a lot longer. And then I realized I was in the wrong spot. So that's how today is going. So, recruitment of a star. Okay. So, we'll go ahead and get started. Sorry, Marley, would you like to say the opening prayer?
Okay. Right. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day that you let us be here with our families and live our lives. We ask you for knowledge and help with this meeting so everything goes well. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. So, there was questions that we have while we were reading. The first one says, whom should Stephen Connor hire and why? For me, at least this is how it was for me. I felt like he should already go with somebody who understands how the company works and has, kind of been mentored by the senior agent before he left. I feel like that way it doesn't kind of disrupt what's already going on that team. Because bringing in somebody new, they may have the experience, but they don't know all the inner workings of the company. That's just my view on it. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I sorry. I agree with you. I think that the most important thing is like someone that has the ability, to bond with the team, with the company, knows how to work with, in a new place. And sometimes you can hire like the star, as I said, like the star, like it's efficient and it's, the best of the best. But sometimes those stars, they're so good, the- uh, their thing, they're a little bit bad, following some rules or going according to the plan that the company has. So that things should be one thing that they should keep in mind before, hire anyone.
Yeah, it's you're completely right. They could hire somebody outside of the company that's a star and knows all the knowledge, but comes in and there's no connection to the team. They don't understand the rules or they don't want to follow the rules and think they can get away with them because they're the star. Whereas if he goes with, I forgot her name already.
Me too.
We go back here. I know it's in the document. Let me go back. What was it? Was it like Rena? Rena, there we go. Now, Rena, she worked with who was leaving. So she knows the inner workings already of the company. She has that knowledge. She's not a star right now, but that doesn't mean that she can't get to the point where he was when he left. So I think
Exactly.
there are times maybe when going outside is okay, but like something like this, I would rather hire in house. What about you, Marvin? Do you have anything else to add?
Yes, well, it was interesting what you both were saying, and honestly, I didn't consider that. Yeah, but now it's something right, to keep with someone that it's on the already in the company because, well, in this case, she Rena knows how are the procedures, the protocols, the work, and everything else. Well, before I was thinking about one of the candidates whose name is. There are too many pages. Uh, what's the last one? Seth. Horcom, I think it's his last name, if I'm correct. And well, I was thinking about him because he just become like a star. He said there in the reports, and he was a runner-up, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the things that I also like is that he has like a plan in order to establish when he will be, well, if he got the position right in the company, RSH. And well, the interviewer was the director of the research. Yeah, the director of the research, Stephen, said that, well, he was intelligent. He has an ambitious plan, but like he knows how he will do it, right? And also, from what was understanding, is that he also liked that teamwork environment, and that's something that already in the company, RSH, has it, right? And that will work well with him, I think.
Yeah, like I said, there are times when hiring outside of a company could be great, when everybody's going to have their different viewpoints on how the hiring should be done, who should be hired. And that's just with any company, any business. I just got hired to this job, and they have told us multiple times that they chose who they thought was the best of the best out of the candidates. So they decided to go outside of the company to find, prospective members, while as other times maybe it's better to do it internally. So I feel like there's not really a wrong answer with this. Either way, internally, going outside, both can be beneficial and detrimental to the company. It just depends on a lot of different factors. So the second question says, imagine yourself in the place of each of the candidates. What strengths would you bring to light during the interview with Stephen Connor, and how would you distinguish yourself from the other candidates?
Um, I was going to say something, but I forgot. I'm so sorry.
You're good. Marvin, did you have anything yet?
Well, first of all, well, something that comes to my mind right now because I was reviewing, checking all the uh, all the article just some minutes ago, is if I were the first person that got the interview, who was Gerald Bond. There it says that he had to wait for him like 15 minutes. So, well, if I were him, yeah, I would definitely be right on time, and even before that. So in that way, they know that, well, that I'm punctual, right? And that's something that it's as an interview as someone that it's an interviewer and even the director of the research. That doesn't give you like a good, say, thought. I would say in that way of how this person is, right? And also that, well, during that interview, he was asking many questions regarding the compensation more than other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, obviously it's important, right? The compensation because that's why you're working in a specific company. But I would like to distinguish myself, not so focusing on that part, right? Instead of, I would
Right.
rather speaking of my abilities, what achievements did I accomplish in previous companies, experience that I have, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, money is important to an extent, but if that is your entire conversation when you're being interviewed, that immediately is going to be a disconnect because yes, money is important, but there is more to jobs than just earning the money. You know, you're going to be representing this company, you're going to be doing XYZ of this job. You need to be talking more about that, not just focusing on the money. Because if they're, I could probably imagine how Steven's sitting there going, okay, are we going to talk about anything other than money? There's important things going on. So money is good to a point, but you have to be able to have the balance between talking about money and talking about your qualifications, what you can bring to the company. It can't be just all one or the other. There should be a balance. And I am so sorry. How long were you rating, Samuel? I'm so sorry. I just looked over and noticed that you were in the meeting room waiting. I'm so sorry about that. You doing good, Ramon, Samuel?
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's been a
no, no
crazy
problem.
day. I just got off work and I was like, I have to go to the meeting and was so forgetful. So we were just discussing the second question where I was having us imagining ourselves in the place of each of the candidates and what could we bring to the company. So we just talked about Gerald. Did you have any views on any of the other candidates and what they would bring to the company?
I think he left.
Oh, we lost him again. Man, our connection is
Yeah, I think he's having problems with the connection.
Uh,
Well,
yes,
in
it's
the
something
meantime,
from the end. Mhm.
coming back in. What were you going to
in the
say?
meantime,
Sorry to interrupt you guys.
I was wanted to, like talk about
Sorry, I
first.
think I have bad
Oh, he's
connection.
back.
Oh,
Yeah,
we got you
sorry.
back. You're good. You're good. Did we
You
lose?
know about Gerald, like
Yeah.
the attitude.
Hmm.
Like he was first, but worst impression. Being late,
Oh, yeah.
and then that his focus was more in the money. And that lets that he's a person that just goes to work and this, you know, what it needs to be done. He doesn't, like my mom says, cross the other mile, you
Yeah.
know. So he wouldn't like take a lot of portions to the team. He will be
Yeah.
like going there, waiting for the paycheck, and never don't support the team.
It's harder to trust somebody to do a good job if they are first off late, unless there's a really, really good reason why you're late. But also, like you said, he's just focused on one part of it. You can't do that. You have to be able to talk about all of this. What are you going to bring to the table? Talking about the money doesn't tell me anything other than you're money driven and that's it, that you don't care about anything else. So there might be some good qualities to him, but maybe not the best candidate to go with. What do we think about the other ones? Gerald was one. I have to go back to the document because I can't remember everybody.
Okay.
Well, the other one was, well, the next one was David Hughes. I think
Yeah,
it's
there we
his
go.
last name.
Yes.
Yes.
And
David.
well, one thing that I will mention, well, if I were him, is the experience, right? That
Yeah.
he has, because I think he was the oldest candidate. He's in his 40s or 50s, around that. So yeah, definitely all the experience that he has, and yeah, well, and as I said also before, right? Any accomplishments, goals, objectives that he met when he was in previous companies.
Yeah, I mean, I like that he mentions, Stephen asks him, why would you be willing to leave the firm that you're at? And he's like, well, as for the reasons, I'm looking for a new challenge. So he's wanting to learn and grow. So he's willing to leave a company that he's been with over 15 years to gain more experience, which in the long run, if he has enough experience of his previous job, but he's wanting to be challenged. He's wanting to grow. And that can be an asset to him. He's like, I'm willing to be challenged. I'm willing to learn more information because he's eager to learn, is what it comes across to me. Did we see anything that maybe would be concerning with David?
I think like the part when it says I had it here about that rumor, that David had been on vacation with his kids and there had been a breaking news story about a semiconductor industry,
Mm-hmm.
that he refused to cut his vacations. So when, he asked David, he laughed and he said that everything was, solved when he got back. Kind of like that, I think it was. And Stephen was thinking that their job is like doctor's job.
Yeah,
When they call you, you have to be there, to work. So I think that's the only part that didn't like Stephen about David. Gonna make him a little bit noise.
yeah. And he also mentioned, Stephen also mentioned that he was a little bit uncomfortable because it felt like David was interviewing him. Like when you're going into an interview, yes, asking questions is okay, but the way David was going, it was like, wait, who's interviewing who? It's okay to go in with questions, but you can't completely take over the interview process like you're interviewing them. I mean, if you want to know about the company you're working for and everything, do the research before you go in and come with some questions, but not like, you know. What about you, Sam? Anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, no, just I agree with you, Stephanie. I think in an interview job, you need to know your position, right? You, like, remember that you are just a candidate and they have so many options, so you have to try to do your best to get the job.
Exactly. I keep relating everything back to, my new job. when I was being interviewed, didn't have a lot of questions really because I had done all the research beforehand. I had looked up this company. I knew of them already because my family members had had interactions with them. And I got to that meeting, the interview, with maybe one or two questions. But we spent more time talking about what my qualifications were, what I could bring to the company. And by the end of it, you know, it turned out good. I got the position because I was willing to let him ask the questions. I knew what was going on in the company. I just didn't go, well, I'm gonna just go in there blind and not know what I'm doing and just ask all these questions. It's so far the candidates both have had good and bad things about them, so it's kind of hard of this to who you would go with. But it's just, like I keep saying, you just have to I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. You have to be balanced, about what you're talking about. Compensation, yes, compensation's okay. Talking about your experience, okay, but you don't want to be too boastful about it, and you don't want to take control over the interview. Let's see.
I
So,
think it's because, David's experience, he has
mhm,
a lot of years experience, so he felt like, the one in control. But
yep,
in an interview, you have to be, more humble because you're the one who wants the job. And so you have to be honest and you have to be humble and you have to take care of the way you express things, not to give a bad impression. And, and taking over the interview was kind of a like bad impression.
yeah. All right. So after David, he meets with Sonia Mitha. So what did Sonia bring to the interview? What do you think, made her stand out?
I think that a lot of things. First of all, she was there like waiting for him. She was extremely early, which is great. Also, she makes the investigation about the company. I mean, she didn't go blind to the interview. She knew a few stuff, and she write the questions she wanted to know about the things she couldn't find on the internet on the page of the company, and she expressed like really well.
Yeah.
I think
Stuff without being arrogant about knowing it. Yep, I like that about her. I also just kind of chuckled that she was sitting there writing things down with a SpongeBob pen. I was like,
yeah,
I love that
it's
energy.
iconic.
So what about you, Marvin and Samuel? Did you guys have anything you thought that Sonia brought to the table?
Yeah, definitely. As Mayerle said, one thing that it's that she was very punctual, even waiting for him. And well, I like that she had many questions that were not just focused on compensation, right? It was more about like how were the policies or the culture in that new company. You know, and also one thing that it is mentioned there is that well, since she's a mother, she there was sometimes that she stayed at home, right? So even though that she does that work at home, she even had really good performance in what she's doing, and even one of in that rank, right? Well, he was not on like in the first positions, but she's in the right in that rank. So
Yeah.
that's something that is really helpful for her and gives a good impression if you are an interview with her. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So was there anything that was a bit concerning with her interview, do you think?
I think the last part when she was a little bit, she felt like underpaid.
Yeah.
And she asked for how much, the income for the job. It was a little bit
Yeah.
weird.
No, it's like I said, it's always concerning, You want to know what like maybe what a basis would be, what a possibility of what your compensation would be. It is something, because you may go to your job and you love your job, but you still need to make money. So it is still a bit concerning to a certain point. So it's like, how far can you go with asking the question about compensation before it becomes uncomfortable for the person that's, doing the interview process with you? So it's, it's a little bit all over the place. So we have next in our line of candidates, we have Seth Horkham. And it looks like he was already at the restaurant when Stephen arrived. So that's a good thing so far. What good did he bring to the interview? What made him stand out above the others?
Mm. Could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, so what experience, or what good would Seth bring to the company? So what is good about him compared to what's bad about him? So we're comparing the good and the bad of each candidate. I'll be honest, I didn't get to read as far as this one. So I'm trying to look through it right now.
Well, I like that in the first part he mentioned like the qualities that he has, because it says there that I'm 100% dedicated to my work. Being a superior analyst is my top priority. I'm extremely thorough in my research and all of that. And also after that, in the next page, he mentioned like he has a plan, and also that yeah, he has some very close contacts at Power Chip. It says there, and so he has that option to like to create or have that networking that's gonna help for the sales and all of that.
Yeah, and it's good. He's has the dedication to his work, so that means that he will do a thorough job that is needed for the position. So it's always good to be dedicated to what you're doing to a certain point again. So what kind of interesting or red flags did we see with Seth? Was there anything that was concerning?
Mm,
Make this bigger because I am a little blind today.
I don't think so. Like,
Yeah, there's not a lot of information, like Steven said, he's the mystery candidate.
yes.
There's just not enough out there. So it's harder for him to determine if he's going to be a good fit or not, because there's just not that much information. So he's just kind of
I
going,
think that's covered because he bring like all in the suitcase. He bring like the testimony of the clients and all the things he has done. So
it is good, even if Steven finds it, Steven finds it a bit odd, but there's understanding as to why Seth would bring that in, because there's not a lot of information out there in the universe, the job market area, that headhunter didn't, not a lot of information. But I think, he seems like a good candidate, There's still a little bit of unknowns.
I'm between Seth and the girl. I forgot her name.
The insider, Rena, or something.
And Sonia too. Three of them.
Yeah. So for the outside candidates, Sonia and Seth are the front runners for me.
Yeah.
They're sticking out more. So what about Rena though?
I like Rena. I think that she's, happy to be in that position, and she's doing her best. And she was like, she tries, to give the best of her. And it has the advantage that she's been part of the company for a few years, and she know how everything works. And even if she's in a higher position, she comes from from the bottom. She's been escalating the levels, so she knows how everything works. But I like that about her.
Yeah, she's got the foundation already there for her to be able to grow in the company more, but also be like, hey, I know what I'm doing already. You don't have to give me any training or anything. So, yeah. Okay. So the last question says evaluate the selection and hiring process at Rubin, Stern, and Hertz. What changes, if any, do you recommend? I'm a little thrown off by the headhunter process. I always thought that was weird. I don't know. It's just me. I'd rather be the one doing the nitty gritty details of like looking over the information, not, wanting somebody else to say, well, this is the information I found. This will be great. Like, I want to do the research myself on the candidates. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. I think the best way to be prepared for, interviewing future employees is to read the information yourself. So you get to know them, like a little bit heads up for the interview. So you
Yeah,
know how they are, what they're doing and everything. So it's like it's more personal,
yeah,
I
more
think.
personal. Yeah,
And I
exactly.
like it.
It's that's why I said I was started reading this and I'm like, why do you have to have a headhunter? It just is so disconnected. I don't know. I'm a person. I'm a people person. I like people. I like learning about people. So I couldn't do
The
it.
other is cold.
Yeah.
Distant.
It's the
It reminds
disconnect.
me to 2020 with the COVID and everyone stuck in their homes.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not in person, even if it's a virtual conversation, you could still make those meaningful. I mean, I know that my interviewer, his name is Perry, was great. He was very personable, connections were made and stuff. But just going through somebody else, you don't get to have that experience as much. You just go based off the information they give you, and it just feels off. It's, I don't know. I'm a weird person. I just like talking to people. So I'm just like, no, let me do the information myself. Let me do the digging myself. And Marvin or Samuel, do you guys have anything additional?
Yes. Well, first of all, I think Samuel is on the waiting row. I don't know
Oh, he got kicked out again.
because,
I mean,
but I think it's something about with his connection that he's like getting in, getting out.
it's all good. Connection's a little off. We good.
Uh,
Okay, good. Whew.
all right. Well, for the last question that you were mentioning is about the like that process, right, of the hiring, hiring process.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, I think it's good to be if I want to hire someone, and especially if it's a important position, yeah, I think that it's good to have to do the research for myself, right?
Yeah.
Even in especially if I'm the director of that area. But I also think that it's good to have someone else, but maybe after I do the first research. So in that way, I have another inputs, another thoughts, or other perspectives.
Maybe if you're not doing it directly, maybe somebody within the company directly instead of, somebody directly and within the company that can do the research for you. Be like, okay, this is what we found. This is who might be best. I think it really depends on the type of company, what the structure is. Every company is different with how they do their hiring processes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends. So I think that was the last question. Am I right? You go back.
Yes.
Okay. So, didn't have any other questions on the thing. Did you anything else you guys wanted to add about what we've read?
Just
I
one
think
last
that
thing is go ahead, Mayerly.
oh, well, I just wanted to say, like, reading this gives you like a perspective of how you could handle your future interviews if you're going to apply for a job. And I
Oh,
really
yeah.
like it because you get really good insights what to do and what not to do.
Yep.
I learned a lot from Gina. Gina, I think it's her name.
Rena?
Rena, and also I always forget her name. Sonia.
Sonia, yep.
Yeah, and said I mean they came prepared, they make their investigation, they write down their questions, and I think that's a very good strategy, to have a successful interview.
Yeah, it really is. There's always good things and you also learn what not to do in an interview. It's always different depending on how the company is doing the interview process. Are they doing it in person? Is it over the phone? Is it online, virtual? There's different ways to prepare how you're doing it. I mean, when I did my interview, from like waist up, I wore a very nice top, very nice jacket. My hair was done, everything like that. I made sure I was presentable and talked and stuff, and it worked. That's not going to work for everybody. Some people kind of don't want to do it in person, so it's interesting how every company is different with what they do with hiring, and it's interesting. Well, we've got about 2 minutes and 41 seconds left. I know it says schedule a 60-minute meeting, but I don't think we needed the 60 minutes because
I think we talked all the had to talk.
we hit all the points. Is there anything else you guys wanted to discuss or talk about? Sorry, it was a bit chaotic at the beginning. Like I said, I was so flabbergasted getting off work and then trying to get this set up and trying to go to the right thing. So thanks for being patient in the beginning while I got everything set up. So being the lead person on these always makes me so nervous.
No, it's okay, but you did it great. Thank you. Thank you for leading us
Yeah, you did
this day.
super. Did
Woo.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I needed that little energy boost, a little self-esteem boost. So, okay, so I think Eric is supposed to be next week. I think we had to switch, so yeah. I can't keep track of who's who anymore. But
Me too.
all right. Well, I'm glad we were able to meet again. And thank you guys so much for being understanding while I'm in training and doing this at 5.
Don't worry. I think we've all been there.
I think I missed the last meeting of the semester though, because the very last meeting is like when I start working and end at 7:00. So, but other than that, awesome. You guys have a great night. I will get the link sent to the emails that you provided. It'll probably be a little bit later tonight just because it does take some time to convert, but I will make sure that you have it in time so you can finish up tomorrow with the quiz and stuff. But thank you so much. You have
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a good
Thank
week.
you, Stephanie. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.